Ladies and gentlemen, our next performer was the host of the Gallery Cabaret, the cafe.
The Cafe Gallery, yep.
On 2020 North Oakley. And
Dave got you the saving over in a week and a half, yes.
And as a host, let me introduce another host. It's always, like Gregorio's a host, Janet's a host. It's always exciting when the host gets the host. The host. That's like saying fuck those fucking fuckers, but you get to, never mind. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for a departing Chicago poet. We hope she will tell us about her new adventure, I hope. But ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Janet Kuypers.
Yay!
I wish I adjust the mic.
You're so awesome.
I know!
I always have to do that because, as in the host, though, I always have to adjust it down a half foot because everybody's shorter than me, which blows my mind. Hi! I ran the Poetry Open Mic Gallery Cabaret at, the Poetry Open Mic Cafe Gallery at Gallery Cabaret. I ran it there for years and years. It used to be run by Charlie Newman. It was previously run by David Rudin. It's been going on since '96. Dave Getchick's taking it over. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm just going to say a few poems that I have read over the years that people know me for here, and thank you all very much. I'm going to be moving in the next, and this is my first and last time here. I'm going to cry. I know, because I'm going to be going to Austin, Texas, because of a job move.
All right.
But, Austin's kind of cool, so
All right.
rock on for that. This first one is called Death is a Dog. Death is an untrained little bitch. It pees on the carpet and it barks through the night, and it always is begging for scraps at the table, seeing what it can take from you when you've got your back turned. When you want it to heal, well, it never does, and it never rolls over, and it never plays dead. I know what it takes to die, and one day it suddenly all makes sense, and from that moment on, you either look for it, or it looks for you. Death is an untrained little bitch, and I've been begging for it, I tell you. But it doesn't come when you call. I leave a bowl of water out and a bowl of dry dog food, but I never see it eaten. But the bowl is always empty, and I still refill the bowl. And vacuum the dog hair that sticks to the couch and spray air freshener in the living room, because no matter how hard you try, you can never get rid of the smell. Death is an untrained little bitch, and she'll claim her territory under your bed, eating your slipper while you try to sleep and remind yourself that there are no monsters waiting for you to close your eyes.
All right.
This is called Everything Was Alive and Dying. I had a dream the other night. I walked out of the city to a forest, and there were neatly paved bicycle paths and trash cans every 50 feet and trash every 10. And so I walked a little further, and there was a stray cat. She still had a little neon collar on with a little bell, and she'd walk a few feet. She'd stretch her front paws. Oh, she looked so darling. And she walked right up to me in my dream, and she said, "Thank you." And I said, "For what?" And she just looked at me for a moment, and her little ears were standing straight up. And then she said, in some countries, I'm considered a delicacy. And I said, how do you know of these things? And she said, when somebody eats one of you, word gets around. And then she said, in some countries, the cow is sacred. Wouldn't they love to see how you humans prepare them for slaughter? How you hang them upside down and slit their throats so their still beating hearts will drain out all the blood for you? And she said, isn't it funny how arbitrary your decision is to eat meat? And I said, don't put me in that category. I don't eat meat. And she said, I know. And then I woke up in a sweat. So tell me, Jeb Bush. So tell me, Chris Christie. So tell me, Rick Santorum. So tell me, Donald Trump. And wait a minute. Tell me, Barack Hussein Obama, if you woke up from that dream, would you be in a sweat too? Do you even know why we should save the rainforest? Oh, preserve the delicate parents. Just tear the whole forest down. What difference does it make? Put in some orange growth so your concentrated orange juice could be a little cheaper. Well, did you know that medical researchers search for natural cures for diseases? And a tree that appears in the rainforest with a cure might be the only one of its species, or one like it may be 2 miles away instead of right next to it. I wonder how many cures we've destroyed to plant more orange groves. Serves us right. You know my motives aren't selfless, but I'd like to find a cure to these diseases before I die of them. And killing an animal for food I don't need, well, I also know that excess protein pulls the calcium away from our bones and gives us osteoporosis, and the excess fat gives me heart attacks, and I also know that we could be feeding 10 times more people with the same resources used for meat production. I know you're looking at me and calling me an extremist, but I'm sitting here looking around me, looking at all the destruction caused by family values, and thinking that the right, moral, non-violent decisions are also those extreme ones. Everything is linked here. We destroy our animals, we destroy our earth, we're even destroying our air. We dump our wastes into our lakes, we pump aerosol cans and exhaust fumes, and you tell me I'm extreme. But I think we just keep doing it because we don't know how to stop when we feel the pain of all that we killed, and so we pop a chemical-filled painkiller, and we live through the guilt by taking caffeine, nicotine, morphine, and we keep ourselves thin with saccharin, and we keep ourselves sane with our alcohol poisoning, and when that's not enough, maybe a line of Coke, and maybe just take some more pills, walk into the garage, turn on the car, and just fall asleep. In the wild, we have no power over anyone else. Now that we're civilized, we create our own wild. Maybe when we have all this power, the only choice we have is to destroy ourselves. And so we do.
Oh, yeah.
In a Beast Woman performance. This is called Fantastic Car Crash. Fantastic Car Crash. Our life is one big road trip now, and we set the cruise control and make our way down the expressway. And most of the time we're just moving in a straight line, and the scenery blurs. There's nothing to see. But I know it's inside of you, and I know what you're made of. There's no such thing as a calm with you. You are a fantastic car crash. You stop traffic in both directions as the gapers gawk and the delay grows while everyone slows down to stare. Everything shatters with you, you know. It's a spectacular explosion. I try to duck and cover as metal flies through the air, and every time you leave the scene of the accident, I am left picking up the shards of glass from the windows. You know, the glass always breaks into such tiny little pieces. They look like ice. And every time I'm there, I'm picking up those glasses, and it takes so long when I pick up the pieces, and even though I'm careful, I'm still picking up the pieces, and I'm still on my knees. And the glass cuts into my hands, and my blood drips down to the street. Think of it as my contribution to this fantastic car crash that is you, that is me, that is us, as I wipe the blood from my hands and wave my hand to the line of traffic. Go on, keep driving. This happens all the time. There's nothing to see here.
sexy or what, man?
Okay, first of all, she turns the mic upside down and tell you that looks like it hurts. But, you know, poetry can heal and break at the same time, which is why they call it a contradiction. She's leaving the Chicago stage, so would you
Yeah.
permit her a few more poems?
Absolutely.
To get it out of her system,
All
so
right.
so we can mark the spot with some black tape and say she stood here once, and then I'll spill some beer and it'll smell later, and then we will know it was real.
Well, almost heard that.
Ladies and gentlemen, by way of Gregorio Gomez's command, let us give for a quick encore of Janet in what could be her last performance in the city of Chicago for quite a while. Lay it on us.
Yeah, right, Janet.
I'm going to be doing things from memory. This is the first poem I ever read at any open mic in Chicago.
Yes.
And that was at Yammer in 1995.
Lisa Heminger.
Yes.
I remember her well.
And it's the only poem I ever did a formal
was
video
amazing.
for. She's awesome. Yes. And this is called Too Far. When he met me, he told me I looked like Kim Basinger on blonde locks. But as time wore on, I knew I wasn't her, and I could never be her, and I was never good enough, or thin enough, or pretty enough. So I got a perm, I straightened my teeth, I bought the Wonder Bra, but that wasn't doing the trick. So I decided to exercise. I used a stair stepper, I ate rice cakes and wheat germ, but I wasn't thin enough. I only dropped 20 pounds. So I decided to go to the spa, and I wrapped myself in mud, and I soaked myself in, wrapped myself in cellophane, and I soaked myself in mud, and I bought those amino acid facial creams, but I knew they didn't really work. So I went to the doctor, and I got my nose slimmed, and my tummy stapled, and my thighs sucked. I thought about getting a rib or two removed, you know, like Cher.
Oh, yeah.
But I figured, you know, ribs, they've got to be there for something. And hey, that's just going too far. This is a sadder one.
I got two.
It's called The Burning.
I'm Adam.
I take the final swig of vodka. I feel it burn its way down my throat. And it's scorching my tongue. And I reach for that bottle to pour myself another. I think about my tonsils scream every time I let the alcohol rape me. And then I look down at my hands, shaking, holding that glass of poison. And I think about how these were the hands that should have pushed you away from me, but didn't. And I keep wondering why I took your hell, took your poison. I remember how you burned your way through me. You corrupted me from the inside out, and I kept coming back. I let you corrupt me, and now you've burned a hole right through me. I hated it. And now I have to rid myself of you. And my escape is flowing between the ice cubes in the glass nestled in my palm. But I have to drink more. The burning doesn't last as long as you do.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to do two, but I can't leave you on such a sad note, so I'm going to read the first poem I ever wrote. I was 9 and it rhymed and it got published in Read magazine. So this is called Under the Sea. I'd like to be under the sea to watch the fish go swim. I'd like to squish a jellyfish and then let go of him. I'd like to grab a soft-shelled crab and take him for a walk. I'd like to hurdle over a turtle and teach dolphins to talk. I'd like to see a manatee and then go play by him. I'd like to do all of these things. If only I could swim. Thank you very much.
I love catharsis, and I'm an English teacher. If you don't know what catharsis is, that's what catharsis is. It's a healing after you said, well, what do we say, Gregorio? Fuck it.
Fuck it. Fuck it.
Gregorio, say one nice thing about Janet. I know you know her, and she's leaving.
Say one nice thing about
One of the sexiest poets in the city of Shaitan, ladies and gentlemen.
And let me say what an honor it is that she chose Quenchers Poets Open Mic Stage for one of her last performances, possibly in the city of Chicago. She's moving on to Texas, where they have the Yellow Rose, John Wayne, and Republicans, but not in that order. And because we don't judge, we wish her well. You Republican, Nazi, fascist, proletariat, KKK Klan member, dipsomaniac, whore. But I say that out of love. And I like the Queen of Plug. She gets my comments. Always. The rest of you, get the wax out of your ears. Ladies and gentlemen, another round for Janet Kuypers.